Hello everyone. In my last videos, I have discussed about the blood flow, that is a circulatory system, how the blood flows in the heart, like how the deoxygenated blood comes to the heart and how it gets purified and then it goes back to our body. So in today's video, we are here to discuss something very briefly and in a very easy way about the coronary arteries. So coming to today's topic, let's begin with the coronary arteries. So when we say coronary arteries, we mean the coronary means the heart and the arteries are the arteries which takes the oxygenated blood and it comes to the body. So here coronary arteries means these are the arteries which supplies the heart itself. Okay. So coming to the coronary arteries, we can see here I have written about the aorta. Okay, that means aorta is the biggest branch which takes the oxygenated blood and it gives the blood to the body. So from the aorta itself, from the base of the aorta, we'll come to the diagram later on. From the base of the aorta, what happens? In both the sides, the artery gets divided into the left coronary artery and the right coronary arteries. Okay. Further, if we see, the left coronary artery gets divided into the left anterior descending artery, which is one of the very major and the main coronary artery, and then it gets divided into the left circumflex artery. Further, when the artery goes on pumping the blood, it gets divided into various branches, where we can see the left anterior descending artery gives branch to the diagonal branches, and the left circumflex artery gives branches to the margins of the heart that are known as the marginal arteries. Okay. Now coming to the right coronary artery, we can see the right coronary artery gets divided into the right posterior descending artery. That means the name itself says it goes in posteriorly, posterior to the heart. Okay, and then it descends downwards. So posterior descending artery, and this artery again further divides into the marginal artery. Again, it gives the blood flow to the margins of the heart in the right side. Okay, so now coming to the diagram, we can see this is the aorta. This is the major artery which supplies the oxygenated blood to the body. So this is the aorta. From the base of the aorta, we can see the aorta rises from where? It arises from the left ventricle. Okay, I have written left ventricle. So at the base of the aorta, what happens? Two arteries originate. Okay, this is the left coronary artery and this is the right coronary artery. These two are the main coronary arteries which arises from the base of the aorta. Okay, now when we see the left side, the left coronary artery, here it gets divided. Okay, this is the left circumflex artery which goes posterior to the heart and it supplies the posterior walls of the heart. Again, when we see, this is the major artery which comes down till the apex of the heart. This is known as the left anterior descending artery. Why? Because this is on the left side, this is on the anterior side, and it descends down from the upper part. It descends down, so anterior descending artery till the apex. Okay, this is also known as the anterior interventricular artery because, as you can see in the diagram, it supplies in between both the ventricles. Okay, if you see the diagram, you can see here upper part is the right atrium, this is the left atrium, and these two are the left and the right ventricles. So when this artery descends down, it supplies both the ventricles. So this is also known as the interventricular artery. Okay, so when we come to the right coronary artery now, we can see the right coronary artery, when it comes, it does not supply much to the anterior side, but it goes again posteriorly. Okay, this is the main artery which goes to the posterior of the heart and it supplies the posterior wall. But here again it divides into the marginal artery. You can see this is the marginal artery. Again, this supplies to the margin of the right side margin of the heart. So this is the marginal artery. Also, there are several other branches and collateral branches which supplies the musculature of the heart. Okay, now in this diagram we are seeing the anterior view. Okay, now what happens to the posterior view? If we want to see the posterior view, let's come to another diagram. Okay, so if we come to this diagram, what happens? It is same. Okay, so you can just compare. Okay, This is the anterior view and this is the posterior view. Okay, so in the anterior view, this was the left side and this was the right side. When we flip the heart, just imagine we have flipped the heart and we are showing you the posterior view. So in the posterior view, we will see that this is the left side of the heart and this is the right side of the heart. Okay, so in the right side, as we have said, the main artery is the posterior descending artery. So this one comes the posterior descending artery, similar to the anterior descending artery here. Okay, similarly it also supplies the whole posterior musculature of the heart. Okay, and then it supplies both the ventricles. So this is also known as the interventricular artery. Okay, so this is also known as the posterior interventricular artery, since it supplies both the ventricles. Okay, so again on the left side we can say this is the circumflex artery. Here we have seen after it's get divided, okay, as a left from the left coronary artery, it's get the circumflex artery, it goes backward, posterior to the heart. So here if you see continuation, the left circumflex artery comes further and then it divides this portion of the heart, the posterior musculature of the heart. Okay, so we'll just do a brief revision. Okay, in the diagram itself, this is the anterior view, this is the aorta, this is the base of the aorta. These are the two main branches, the left coronary artery and the right coronary artery. Left coronary artery divides into two. One is the circumflex artery which goes posterior to the heart. One is the main, that is the left anterior descending artery, that is the main artery which comes anterior to the heart, and then it supplies both the ventricular. So it is also known as the anterior interventricular artery. Okay, similarly this is the right coronary artery. The right coronary comes and it goes and divides here into the right posterior descending artery which goes backward, posterior to the heart, and supplies the back of the heart. And here it gets divided into a marginal artery which supplies the margin of the heart, the right margin of the heart. Okay, now coming to the posterior, again we can see that from the right side, if you have the continuation, the right side, then this is the posterior descending artery, again which comes down and supplies both the ventricles, and so it is also named as posterior interventricular artery. Again the left one, if we see, it is the continuation of the circumflex artery. It comes here, it supplies the heart in the posterior side in the left side of the heart musculature. So why are we reading about this coronary arteries? It is very important. Okay, we have already heard about bypass surgery, CABG. Okay, several names are there. So when we hear about CABG, coronary artery bypass grafting, it is a procedure where the blocked arteries are bypassed. Okay, if the artery gets blocked, okay, just imagine here the artery gets blocked. So what happens? Adequate amount of blood will not flow to this musculature, and as a result, in later stages, what will happen? Necrosis, or you can say the muscles will begin to die here. In simpler form, you can say the muscles will begin to die here. Infraction, which is called in the scientific term, we call it infracts. So infraction will occur. Okay, and after infraction, if there is insufficient blood supply even through the collateral branches, there may occur myocardial infarction. Okay, so this is very important that we see our coronary arteries are all right or not. Okay, so this is the main artery, LAD, which is known as left anterior descending artery. This is known as LAD. It is very important because in maximum people this LAD is the major culprit. That is, this is the first artery which gets blocked. Okay, after this comes the right coronary artery, the main branch, the right coronary artery gets blocked, and then comes the circumflex artery, and then follows the diagonal arteries, the marginal arteries. Okay, so in bypass grafting we can see there are single bypass grafting, double bypass grafting, or triple also. Okay, so single mainly occurs here with the LAD. If it is double, LAD along with maybe the right coronary artery, or triple maybe along with the circumflex artery. Okay, so we have to have a very good knowledge about the arteries also, so we can we can rule out, we have to know the symptoms of the myocardial infarction. If there is a infraction going on in the heart, what are the symptoms, what the patients will feel. So for that we have to have a knowledge about the arteries, coronary arteries. So this was a brief video just discussing about the arteries. Hope you're clear about the coronary arteries. Thank you.